All right, guys, here we are back in that ICF construction building we've been working on. They're just about to hang sheetrock, so we got everything cleaned up nice. Well, you can see we finally got all our wires routed into our boxes, and we foamed them all in, foamed all the wires back in. And what we've been doing, I ran out of some foam. So what we did is we actually were putting staples in just to hold them back. You see I used a nail here, but just kind of wedged them back in there and then foamed it all back in. We did get a couple comments and people kind of wondering why we didn't just, let me show you. The comment was why we didn't just notch out on this side of the plastic and then route the wires there, and it would have saved a lot of work. You're not wrong, it would have saved a lot of work, but where we are, we generally have these large construction companies come in when they sheetrock, and they'll send a bunch of guys, and they'll run 1.5 to 1.5 screws right through the face of that sheetrock. And if I ran all my wires on this side of that, there's about a 3/8 to a 1/2 inch gap here where you could conceivably run your wires. I'd have had a nail plate every one of these, or either that or you're cutting them all out, going back about 1 inch. The code says we got to maintain 1.25 inches of space, of clearance between the front of this and our wires, which makes sense. So the answer to the comments, or if you're wondering why we didn't just do that and save a bunch of time, is it wouldn't have been code compliant unless I put nail plates up. And every 8 inches, putting nail plates up around the whole entire exterior, 3 floors of exterior concrete, would have been extremely expensive. And really labor intensive in itself too, trying to find a way to, we'd have to drill them and then screw all them on, because you can't just nail them on. It wouldn't be a nail plate, actually be a screw plate, wouldn't it? So it's not like it's a stud where you can just put a nail plate on it and cover up the wire and, with your 1/8 inch or, nail plate. So it would have just been absolutely, either we would have, all our wires end up getting screwed and we're not maintaining any kind of code compliance, or we'd notch the walls to maintain 1.25 inches. And we foamed these all back in. We probably didn't need to, but where we live, it's so cold, and we have such issues with heat loss that we just kind of went through and foamed them all back in, which was a little time consuming in itself. Actually, probably just as time consuming as cutting all that foam out was foaming them all back in. But here we are, we're finally ready for sheetrock throughout the place. You can see we got all our, here they plywooded this entire ceiling prior to ever putting interior walls up. So we actually had to go and kind of work from above and below with 2 guys. What did make it nice was setting all our can lights. We were able to just kind of mark them right out on the plywood. Took a 6-inch hole saw and hole sawed them all out while it was a little dusty. Some we were able to do from above, but some from below, depending on what was above in the attic space. This attic space has got storage trusses. It's wide open up there. In fact, there's going to be a drop-down, electric drop-down set of stairs that allows you to get access up into the attic. It's pretty cool. Hasn't gone in yet. We can walk, and I can show you the hole. And then what you can see is even more, that concrete, literally, I'm standing on the 2nd floor. And what you can see up there is the 3rd floor concrete. Insulated form walls. Got these great, they're all going to be sheetrock returns. Actually it's not, it's all just return, no trim around the window when they're done. This is just going to be a kind of a cased opening. This will all get just mudded in. They'll put like some Durbond on here, Durbond the whole thing. This corner will just be made with sheetrock and corner bead. And it looks terrific, kind of a modern look when you're done. We're seeing it a lot now. It looks clean, and people think they're saving time by doing it, but they're not. It is time consuming watching those guys go through that. I'm just an electrician, I don't have any part of that, but I watch how long it takes them between the sheetrock guys, the corner bead, getting it perfect and painting it. It takes a while. Anyway, so this is where we're at. We're finally ready for sheetrock here. We've been here on and off now since it was real cold, and just wanted to show you we're ready. It's all cleaned up and we're ready for sheetrock. Y'all have a good one.